Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. You know what time of day it is. It's time for Still Up with 6, when we talk to you guys in real time about what's going on online, the big stories of the day, what people are talking about trending. You can see that I took the tie off from the show. If you guys watched me in Texas today, I was having one of those days where the shirt was just a little bit too tight.
A little too tight. I'm feeling that too.
I know you guys are. Good morning, Maria. Buenos dias to you as well. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for all the viewers right now who are joining us. Give you guys just a couple more seconds before we jump into our big talkers of the day. Little lighthearted day here on Still Up with 6. Nothing too heavy to discuss. We're going to talk about this Vermont bill that's being proposed, and it would actually allow people in Vermont to get an emoji on their license plate.
Isn't this interesting? This is such a Vermont thing to do, number one. Number two, don't our lawmakers have a little bit better things to do than to come up with emoji license plates? I mean, fine, if you want to have an emoji on your license plate, I'm not saying I'm against it, but I'm saying, why are lawmakers wasting hours writing up bills that would allow emojis to be on license plate? You got to think there's more important issues at hand in the state of Vermont than emoji license plates.
Good morning to you, David. Yeah, you guys tell us, what emoji would you pick to add to your license plate? You can pick one of 6. You know, it's really interesting because, like you said, there's so many other things we need to be tackling, you know, from state to state.
I'm just looking, it's looking like, it looks like there's just someone over my shoulder, that's all. I'm just figuring that
You're
out
having
right
fun
now.
here?
Yeah. Sorry about that, a little distracting.
No worries. No, but it is, you know, like you said, it's one of those things where there are so many other important things that I think lawmakers, state to state, need to be focusing on, and not just, you know, state to state levels, but national levels as well. And, you know, I don't think that this is the most important thing, but I don't know. Let us know. Would you guys even put an emoji on your license plate? We talked about how, you know, if there was something serious like an Amber Alert, or if there was a standoff or a chase or something where the license plate is important, could anyone really take it seriously if you're, you know, you're saying, you know, HA234, you know, heart emoji? It's like, what?
Yeah, and I'm with you, Amber. She says that's pointless and childish.
Yeah.
What, really? That was my initial reaction to Paula. I think this, listen, if I lived in the state of Vermont, or this was being proposed in Texas and there was lawmakers wasting time putting this on the table, I'd be pretty frustrated that my tax dollars were going to something so stupid. I mean, is there that big of a push in the state of Vermont that you need emojis on license plates? Maybe there's a bigger millennial audience here, but just looking at this, it looks just absurd. Now, listen. Okay, if you want to be identifiable by your license plate, it makes it easier for you to be arrested if something were to go wrong. And this is not hurting anyone, except for it's wasting time for lawmakers putting these things on the table.
Yeah, especially because, you know, they've got to propose a bill, and then it's got to pass, and then it's got to move to other places. And it's just a whole process that's a waste of time, waste of money. And I think we need to be focusing on more important things. Yes, sure, it'd be funny to have an emoji, but like you said, would it be taken seriously? I don't think so. And are there other important things we should be focusing on? Yes, absolutely. It's similar to what we discussed last week. Last week we talked about how there was a lawmaker proposing that anyone under 21 shouldn't have a cell phone because of distracted driving, among other things. And we thought that that was kind of absurd because he went out, the lawmaker who proposed this had come out and said, I know this isn't going to pass, I'm just putting it out there. It's like, for what?
And I think that's just kind of just among many frustrations that people have with politicians. Hey, Jennifer's watching from Temple. Good morning to you. And
Hello.
Paul's watching from Teague, while Maria, I think, is watching from Bartlett. So good morning to all of you. We have people across Central Texas watching us this morning, joining our conversation. So yeah, this is a very 2020 topic.
It is.
Emoji license plates. Not for me. I think that these lawmakers are wasting both taxpayer time, taxpayer money, and if you want an emoji on your license plate, hey, listen, go knock yourself out. But is it something we should be talking about in our state capitals? No, it is not.
And here's Jennifer, life is more than just emojis. I couldn't agree more. I think it's just getting out of control. I think we have too many emoji options anyway on our phone. We don't need this on our license plate. Let's keep it simple with the numbers and the letters. But let's talk about this next one, because I'm really curious to see what people who are watching have to say about this. Because year after year, we're starting to see, at first, Super Bowl commercials were strictly reserved to be premiered during the Super Bowl, right? And that was a big thing. That was like a huge thing for people, engagement, watching. They wanted to tune in for the ads. But in recent years, with the internet, popularity of social media and YouTube, we're starting to see these ads circulate online before they actually premiered during the Super Bowl. And we're starting to see that again this year with the Mountain Dew commercial with Bryan Cranston. We're seeing a commercial with John Cena and Jimmy Fallon for Michelob as well. And so I just think that I'd want to wait. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that listen, at the end of the day, it's about the bottom line. It's about making money for these companies, so you can't blame them. There's a million different platforms that you can use for exposure, and they're just utilizing those platforms. So, yeah, it kind of takes out the novelty of it during the game, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is, and at the end of the day, it's a business.
That is true. I think they just want to get their money's worth, but I don't know. I just miss the days when that was an important part of watching the Super Bowl, because nowadays you're with people and they're like, oh, turn it down. I watched this the other day on YouTube, or I saw this on Twitter last week, and I would have liked to wait until the premiere. I
want to show something here. That is supposed to be your high five with Jimmy Fallon there, and with John Cena. Do you feel a little bit let down that he's doing that in a Super Bowl commercial? If you guys didn't see the clip, Heidi has it on her social media of her and Jimmy Fallon coming up with a handshake. Now he's doing it in Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah, I've got to tweet him and ask him what that's about. Yeah, I was a little confused why he's doing that, and I wasn't invited to be part of it. No, but you know, this is just another great commercial with big names. Of course, it's that time of year when we're going to start to see them, and of course, Super Bowl Sunday. We'll still have some premieres, but not as many with social media.
All right, let's go on to this next topic here. So tell me a little bit about this. So if your morning isn't off to a great start, there's a couple different things that could be to blame, right?
Yeah, so according to a new survey, there's a number of different things that can ruin your morning. Here it is. Number one, wardrobe malfunction.
Okay.
2, stepping in a puddle, being late, losing your wallet, or not being able to find your keys. Now, personally, not being able to find your keys would really frustrate me, because I feel like you can deal with the rest, right? You can get a different outfit. You can change your clothes if you step in a puddle.
For us, I would say this. Number one, the wardrobe malfunction. If it's happening between 4:30 and 7 a.m.,
that's rough.
That would be a way to ruin our morning. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, but the cool thing is that, you know, I can get off the desk and go fix it, or you can, and I can stay on the desk. I think there's a solution for that. But losing your keys, I mean, you've got to, find an Uber?
I've had that happen. I've had to Uber to work before when I couldn't find my keys, and you know.
It's a thing.
In Temple, Texas, there's not always an Uber coming around at 2 a.m. Luckily, I was there on a day that it did, but I can imagine that is a day ruiner as well. Your wallet, another one. You can't buy anything during the day. You got no options.
Even your phone, misplacing your phone while you're getting ready, and next thing you know, you're spending 15, 20 minutes looking for it, and no one can call you because you're home alone. There are so many things that can ruin your morning. So tell us what could ruin your morning. I think being late is a big one for us, because I've overslept on the shift. I have this thing, you've never been on the morning shift until you sleep in. So Chris still hasn't slept in yet. He's still very new, I guess I should say, because you haven't slept in yet, right?
Well, neither is Zach, and I think that goes back. We're consummate professionals, I think. I think more than anything. I think you're just trying to find an excuse for yourself to sleep in here on the morning show.
I've slept in once before, yeah.
I think, you know what's one thing that ruins my morning every single morning? And I love my job, but it's the alarm clock.
It's rough.
Every single time. Every single time, it's like, are you kidding me? It's already that time of day.
And it's always that initial reaction. I think by the time we get on air and you guys see us so awake, we are awake, but that initial alarm clock is rough. And I'm sure even if it was ringing, I remember back in college when it would ring at like 9 a.m., I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, here we go again.
Here we go again. And I think that's just the initial reaction to any alarm clock at any given time.
I think so too. Well, it doesn't look like the conversation is going on a whole bunch in our comments right now. Okay, so Paul is weighing in. Only thing decent left with football anymore, but I do agree. I do not like the spoilers. But I get it. You're right. It's just business, including the NFL itself. Yeah, spoilers kind of take away from, you know, back in the day. We remember just everyone's crowding around the TV waiting for the cool commercials and then talking about it the next day. Now we know those things coming ahead of time.
Yeah, and we can expect more and more commercials to be previewed and online before the Super Bowl. We'll probably be talking about it throughout the rest of the week as we lead up to Super Bowl Sunday. We want to thank everyone for joining us here on Still Up with 6. Again, we talked about a bill in Vermont bringing emojis to license plates. We talked about Super Bowl ads, and of course we talked about what could ruin your morning. So thank you guys so much, and that was a rundown.
We will see you guys tomorrow morning, same time, same place, 4:30 to 7 a.m. and of course at 7:05 right here if you're not able to wake up with us on Still Up with 6.